It is astounding that Nintendo can still innovate within the genre it popularized 4 decades ago. Super Mario Bros. Wonder takes everything fans have come to love and expect from the Super Mario Bros. Series and adds fun and unique twists. The platforming mechanics and level design are still top-notch, but the creative new enemies, gameplay-modifying badges, and the show-stealing Wonder effects push Wonder to rare heights, even for the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. Every Wonder Flower brings about new surprises and delights as you traverse the title's Flower Kingdom. It may not be the most difficult Mario game to date, but it's absolutely brimming with creativity and is easily one of the best games on the Nintendo Switch. A crossover event 2 decades in the making, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate represents the series in its most realized form, containing superb fighting mechanics, a terrific suite of modes to play, and a roster of fighters that features every character in series history, and then some. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is all but an essential title for the Switch. Every Nintendo console has to have at least one fantastic Mario platformer, and the Switch is no exception. Mario Odyssey released a few months after the launch of the console, and it hits all the Mario checkboxes necessary to be considered a classic, plus a few surprising new ones. It's whimsical, has perfect controls, tons to discover, and features a city level where all the humans have normal proportions, while Mario runs around as his short, cartoony self. It's a strange adventure, and a must-have for Switch owners. Far more than a simple port of the excellent Mario Kart 8 for Wii U, Deluxe includes all the original game's DLC and Battle Mode, which was curiously absent from the original release. Playing split-screen Mario Kart is always a hit, and having a version of the game with 2 controllers you can take anywhere makes it the perfect showcase for the Switch. Plus, in 2023 and 2024, Nintendo doubled the number of courses available and added several new playable characters to perhaps the best Mario Kart game ever through its Booster Course Pass. To say The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom had lofty expectations would be the understatement of the century. Following one of the greatest games of all time is no simple task, but Tears of the Kingdom succeeded in carrying forward so many of the successes of its predecessor. Link's new suite of powers fundamentally changes the experience of moving through the world and delivers something undeniably novel, even within the long-running series. Add-on explorable islands in the sky, a massive underground area, a compelling new narrative, and the intimidating presence of Ganondorf. And it's easy to see why Tears of the Kingdom has captivated so many Switch owners. Metroid Dread is a well-refined version of the game that has inspired a generation of players and developers, helping to spawn a whole new genre of game, the Metroidvania. The structure is simple. Bounty hunter Samus arrives on an unfamiliar planet and has to make her way around to find a means to escape. During her journey, she will find new tools and power-ups to help her get to previously inaccessible places. In Metroid Dread, the stakes are raised by pitting Samus against indestructible enemies, which requires a stealthier approach than previous Metroid games. A solid difficulty, the new enemies, and the thrill of discovery all make Metroid Dread an essential Metroid game that delivers on everything fans already enjoy, while also looking incredibly polished visually. The Fire Emblem series has built a cult following through handheld platforms in recent years. But with Three Houses, the turn-based strategy series explodes back onto TVs in the best way possible. Featuring outstanding strategic gameplay, a fun story to interact with and influence, and multiple paths to take through the narrative, Fire Emblem, Three Houses is one of the best strategy games available today.
So obvious.
The first Animal Crossing console game in 8 years, Animal Crossing New Horizons whisks you off to a deserted island through an exclusive Nook Inc. package. This island is yours to fill with villagers, but also to change in whatever way you can imagine, thanks to the game's new island building tools. Make friends with your fellow islanders. Fish, collect fruit, and decorate your island. Thanks to a plethora of cute tools and decorative items, there are a lot of ways to make your island your own. Nostalgic, pixel art RPGs are a dime a dozen today, but even in that crowded field, Sea of Stars sticks out as a genre leader. By using legendary entries like Super Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger as its primary sources of inspiration, Sea of Stars plays to fans of 90s role-playing titles to perfection. But it's the way it expands on those formulas, easing and streamlining so many of the outdated mechanics and game design conventions that makes Sea of Stars a special entry in the RPG genre. Combine those elements with its exemplary art style and expertly crafted soundtrack, and Sea of Stars is worth a playthrough on Switch or any console. Acting as a prequel to the main series, Arceus takes players to a much older version of Pokémon Diamond and Pearl's Sinnoh region. Pokémon roam freely, and you're charged with completing one of the region's first Pokédexes. With no gym leaders or badges, Arceus' focus is primarily on catching Pokémon, rather than battling them. Pokémon Legends, Arceus is unlike any Pokémon game you may have played before, in the best possible way. While Pokémon Scarlet and Violet added a wide range of modernization to the main series, Arceus arguably did more with less, breathing fresh air into the franchise by telling its story through a more immersive and polished lens. This makes Pokémon Legends Arceus one of the best Nintendo Switch games available, and well worth checking out if you're a Pokémon fan or want to break into the series. It's no exaggeration to say that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the best games ever made. It received the 2017 Game of the Year award for setting a new high standard in open-world video games. Being able to go anywhere you can see on the map has never felt more real than in Breath of the Wild, and it's also filled with the kind of excellent puzzle design you expect from a Zelda experience. It's a journey you won't soon forget, and optional DLC packs add additional challenges and new items worth pursuing around the world.